Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are going to be speaking about a few fragrances, or should I say some of the best fragrances you should probably check out during this upcoming season. But before we do that, I'm going to give you time to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and probably share with your friends. And go ahead, you still got time. Still got time. Like button, subscribe, share, power. Let's get started. All right, kicking things off, we're gonna start with one that is not new to the fragrance world, the fragrance community, should I say. But this one is from the house of Kajal. Kick things off with Lamar. One of the best bottle presentations in the game, in my opinion. So what we get with this one, this is basically a fruity rose fragrance. I believe you get some bergamot in this. Actually, take that back. I know pineapple, maybe some bergamot, and you get some berry accords. I want to believe it's raspberry at the top of this, but this is actually my scent of the day today. But yeah, this is blended with some vanilla, I believe some coriander in here. But what I basically get, I get vanilla, a bunch of rose. It's two different kinds of rose, Bulgarian rose, and there's another one I'm not sure right offhand. But you definitely get the rose, you get the pineapple, and you get the cardamom. That's what I mainly get. Now there's plenty other notes in this one, but I'm just talking about what I smell. But the way that this one is blended is perfect for this upcoming season. More so, a lot of people say nighttime. I think this is one of the ones in this collection that I'm showing today that's more versatile. This can be for in the morning or at night going out. It's an everyday wear. It could be, but it's definitely a standout fragrance. You won't be smelling like no one in the room. I promise you that, guys. And as far as compliments, that's going to keep coming. Every time I wear this, I always, even if it's not a compliment, I get asked what it is that I'm wearing. So definitely want to try this one out if you have not. From the house of Kajal, we have Lamar. Next up, we have from the house of Ferragamo, we have Spicy Leather. So with this fragrance, you basically get exactly what the name is, Spicy Leather. The spiciness with this, you get a lot of black pepper and nutmeg. There's other different spices in here also as well, but I'm not doing a full note breakdown on these. I'm just going off basically what I get when I smell this one. So, well, when I smell these. So with this one, again, I do get the black pepper, the nutmeg, get some saffron, some lemon, some bergamot, and basically more than anything else, it's the leather. It's a real clean leather. It's nothing too animalic. Very easy to wear. I have not had a chance. I think I only wore this maybe twice when I first got it, and though I did enjoy it, leather is not one of my favorite notes. So I kind of pushed this to the back. But I rediscovered this actually, I believe yesterday. I ran across it again. I'm like, let me test this out. I didn't actually wear it for the day, but I did spray it on my hand to see if I did enjoy it. And actually, I enjoyed it way more than I did previously. Now, could that be because it has settled down, macerated a little bit? Maybe. The blend of this, also with some patchouli, because you do get patchouli in the background. So we're talking about black pepper, leather. You know, it's very aromatic too. You don't need a lot of sprays of this, which with any leather-based fragrance, I wouldn't spray a lot anyway. But that bergamot and the lemon at the top, it kind of brightens it up. This is a gorgeous scent. But if you don't like leather, I would say test this out first, because again, if leather is not one of your favorite notes, or if you dislike the smell of leather, you're not going to like this, because that's the most prominent note that you get out of this. even with the citruses that is noticeable in this, the leather kind of overtakes all that. So you have been warned. But again, if you like leather, this is definitely one to try out from the House of Ferragamo. Spicy leather. All right, moving forward, we're gonna go to the House of Dolce & Gabbana. This is Velvet Incenso. So with this one, guys, the name speaks for itself. Incenso, as an incense. This is a heavy incense fragrance, but it made this list strictly because it wears light enough for the spring. Even though it's a very smoky, ambery, velvet texture to this, very heavy with the incense, it wears very light. Or should I say, it wears very close to the skin. So with that being said, I think the breeze of like springtime, when you're outside, when you're outdoors, I think that'll roll perfect with this, because if this was to project any heavier, or if it did project loudly, this might lean towards a winter style of a fragrance. But since it's so close to the skin, me personally, I love this in the springtime, even the fall time. It wears so light sometimes that maybe summertime, I don't think you'll have a problem with it. But there's so many other choices out there. You could probably roll with something different. But in springtime, definitely get your nose on this one. Very smoky, very heavy with the incense and the benzoin. The benzoin and vanilla kind of make it more gourmandish with that patchouli in the background. The patchouli is not a chocolate cake kind of patchouli in this, but it do give it that texture, sort of like a grainy cake style, but not full like patchouli can do in other fragrances that you might find out there. Actually, what's funny about this is one of the few fragrances that you can almost detect, or at least me, I can almost detect every note in this one. I have elemi, incense, black pepper, benzoin, labdanum or labdanum, amberwood, cashmere wood, vanilla, and patchouli. Now, with the exception of maybe the labdanum, I can pretty much detect every single note in this one. And maybe that's what a turnoff is to some people. Maybe it's too much going on for a lot of people, but I think it's blended perfectly. That black pepper definitely give it some spiciness. But that smoky amber cashmere feel that this has makes it so unique to me, to my nose. So again, we're not gonna drag this out. From the House of Dolce & Gabbana, I have Velvet Incenso. All right, from the House of Penhaligon's, we have Doro. So with this one, with the House of Penhaligon's, you can almost expect the first thing that should be said about what you're gonna get is a gentlemanly classic fragrance. Now with this one, even though it has a classical feel to it, this is a modern take on a gentleman's fragrance. Definitely a fougere by all means. It's so many notes in this. I might put it on the screen, but what I mainly get from this is lots of lavender. Definitely get some mandarin orange, some lemon, basil, musk, oak moss, and definitely some sandalwood. The sandalwood in this is very prominent. It brings there's an extra creaminess with this, and with all the notes that was listed, to me, it's definitely the sandalwood that makes this as creamy as it is. And when I tell you it's one of the best sandalwood, even though I wouldn't say that this is a sandalwood fragrance, I don't know. At this point, I'm just might. Is it more lavender than anything? Yes, strictly because of the fougere style that they're going for. But the texture of this, you know what? I'm gonna just say it. This is a sandalwood fougere. That lemon, I believe it's some lime in this as well. That is at the top of this, but once it dry down, that completely goes away to me. I haven't wore it as much. I think I've worn this maybe 3 or 4 times. For the most part, by the end of the day, I was left with that lavender, that oak moss, and that sandalwood. If you get a chance, get your nose on this one. From the house of Penhaligon's, we have Doro. All right, last but not least, from the house of Mask Milano, we have Russian Tea. So this one got on my radar actually from Justin Copeland. Shout out to him. I'm so glad I got my hands on this fragrance. This is a different style of a tea fragrance. This has like a minty, green, smoky facet to it. This is different, fellas. This one definitely a head turner. Just picture black tea fresh out the pot. When you pour it in the cup, you know how that smoke coming out the cup, and you get that aroma. Now picture that like slightly burnt. I know this sounds crazy, but just hear me out. Slightly burnt, but with a fruitiness to it. There's like a raspberry accord in this. It's fruity, smoky, minty black tea. Just picture that aroma seeping out the cup. That's what you get from this one. In my eyes, I feel like this is more of a 3-season fragrance. Just exclude the summertime, because again, you could pull it off. Don't get me wrong, you can just watch your sprays on it. But any other season, I think this will go perfect. Just with the wind blowing. That scent trail that this one leaves behind is enormous. A little it does go a long way. So you don't need much. I've worn this a few times, and this is I want to say a 30 ml, but it's more than enough for me. It's a very calming, relaxing feel to this one. Very smoky, very spicy. I didn't look up the notes in this one actually, because what I get from it is basically black tea. Black tea, kind of burnt in my opinion. I get mint, some raspberry accords. This is top-notch perfumery. I know I use that phrase a lot, but the fragrances that I use that on, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This is top-notch perfumery. Definitely a head turner. Definitely a compliment getter. One for you all to check out. So at the end of this list, we ended it out with Mask Milano, Russian Tea. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor, leave some comments if you have any other ideas of some good scents that'll work well in this upcoming season. Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. With that being said, I appreciate you all, and I'm out.